Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the NECA Toys Simpsons 25 of the Greatest Guest Stars Series 3, the members of R.E.M. And by members, we have Michael Stipe, we have Peter Buck, and Mike Mills from R.E.M. Spot decided to just really do them as one video because there was no real sense to do them as individuals. They came as the band R.E.M. and we'll review them certainly as the band of R.E.M. On the back of the packaging should be the exact same. The only difference is really that they've changed out the characters on the backs. So right, even the same to Penn and Teller. The read-ups may vary depending on how much space is being occupied by the character that's on the side, or in this case, on this side here for Michael Stipe. But the read-ups, though, are the exact same. R.E.M. were featured in Season 13, Episode 3, entitled Homer the Mo, air date November 18th, 2001. Your read-up says, "It was the end of Homer's world as we knew it, when Mo changed his dumpy tavern into chic Euro bar in Season 13's Homer the Mo. Homer turned his garage into a bar and tricked R.E.M. into playing it at it. When Michael Stipe, Peter Buck, and Mike Mills learned this was no benefit to save the rainforest, the angry indie rock legends prepared to send some rapid fist movement towards Homer's face." Other characters you can get in season, I was going to say season, but it's really Series 3 of The Simpsons. There's Penn Jillette and Teller. There's Lisa Simpson, Milhouse Van Houten, Stephen King, Bret Hart, and then Peter, Mike, and Michael, a part of R.E.M., Leonard Nimoy, and Mr. Burns. Of course, head over to www.necaonline.com. You can check out the Simpsons figures that we've gotten so far, the Simpsons figures that we're going to be getting soon, and of course as well all the other things that NECA is producing. Having said that, Spot's going to take a break and get all three of these guys opened up. Certainly when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the members of R.E.M. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. So, having a look at the members of R.E.M., unfortunately they don't stand very well. In fact, I'm surprised I could even get Peter Buck to properly stand because I was having a tough time getting him standing upright before we shot this part of the review. Each one of the members do come with their own accessories. Both Peter and Mike come with their own guitars, and of course Michael Stipe, being the singer of R.E.M., comes with a wireless mic. Mike was also one that I had a tough time standing, Michael Stipe here. I think the problem is that his feet are so small and he kind of looks like he wants to lean backwards. So you have to do a little bit of finagling to get him to properly stand. I say this, but granted, I mean, we're again putting them on a material backdrop. If you were having this on a flat, hard surface, you probably wouldn't have any issues standing them at all. The thing with the R.E.M. members is very similar to like the Guess Who. You may not necessarily collect every single one of the Simpsons pieces, but you might gravitate yourself toward more pieces, ones over others. You might not have collected necessarily the Guess Who, the Who, but you might maybe gravitate more towards R.E.M. or really vice versa. Having grown up really with R.E.M., I think it's neat to see them actually now in Simpsons form. Let's first have a look at Peter Buck. Now, it appears that both of them do have the option to have their guitars removed. The only difference is when you remove them, you have to unpeg the strap of the guitar from their backs, and then you can just slide the guitar off. Really, without the guitar, it makes no sense to me. Kind of very similar to, again, the Who. Because they are members of the band, I'm probably just inclined to maybe keep the guitars on them. He has a guitar pick in hand. Likeness-wise, I think he definitely looks like Peter Buck. Doesn't really have a lot of paint. In fact, his hair is black, his jacket and pants are black, even his shoes are black, and there goes Michael Stipe. I knew that was going to happen. He's a good-looking piece. Both him and I would even say Mike Mills, you wouldn't necessarily buy either one of them on their own. It's not to say that you would probably buy just Michael Stipe on his own, but at least Michael Stipe, He's kind of like the equivalent of Bono. You know, Michael Stipe, you kind of really know him as R.E.M. And then the guys on either end of him, are part of the band, but you always kind of think of the lead singer as the representing the band. So Michael Stipe, I could see probably, if anything, getting him. But if you're going to get either one of the guys, I would think that you're probably then going to automatically get all three of them. For your articulation, Peter Buck does have a swivel in the head, which is so stiff. In fact, a couple of these figures really stiff in the head. It's almost as stiff as it was with the Bret Hart. I just can barely move the head. The arms are also on a swivel, and also swiveled waist. The thing with something like R.E.M. or the thing with the Who is you're either going to be a completionist where you're going to want to get every Simpsons figure that NECA is producing, and I don't blame you because they are really absolutely phenomenal pieces. But again, would you gravitate towards necessarily getting R.E.M. on their own? Probably not, unless you're a big R.E.M. fan. For a rating for Peter Buck, I'm going to give him actually a 7.5. They're good looking figures. The only downside though is it might be of a band you may not have followed. And see, as you can see, Peter Buck's having such a tough time actually standing. He's standing in a certain way anyways. That's making things a little more difficult for him to stand properly. We'll just actually lay him down. I'm going to leave Michael Stipe for last. Let's have a look at Mike Mills. Mike Mills has a little more coloring, a little more personality going for him. He's got the big rimmed glasses, which is a nice touch. He's also got the translucent plastic, which doesn't distort the eyes as much as I was worried that he was going to. Really, both Mike Mills and Peter Buck have really nice sculpted hair. Nice blonde hair on Mike Mills here. It looks like his jacket is comprised of the sky and popcorn, but it's not sky and popcorn. But it's a really nice paint on the shirt area of him. Again, he is pegged, so you can see the strap of the guitar can be unpegged from his torso, and you can outright remove it. But both him and Peter Buck, really, if you're going to remove the guitar, their arms are going to really be holding nothing. Yet they're going to look like they should be holding something. So, you know what, for both of them, I'm more inclined to probably just keep the guitars in hand. Articulation on Mike Mills, again, the same as Peter Buck. His head should rotate, but oh, it's so stiff. Shoulders are also on a swivel, but again, very, very stiff. And he should look as if he's got a pick, but it looks like he's just kind of got his hands more closed, strunging his guitar. He's also does have the swivel in the waist. He's got a little more personality than I think Peter Buck, but again, that's not necessarily a figure. That's just based on the members of R.E.M. Mike Mills, I'm going to give him also a 7.5. Putting him to the side, he seems to stand the easiest of the three. Again, Peter Buck, I just can't get him to properly stand. And let's finally have a look at Michael Stipe, whose camera does not want to focus, and he also dropped his mic. Not a bad figure. I think the one problem I have with it, though, is that I feel like his mustache, his beard, and his head are all stubble. The problem is, though, the stubble carries really far into his forehead. Instead of actually stopping to right about there where I feel like it should, it continues further over. And it kind of gives him the look that he has like chicken pox or the measles. The back isn't so bad. Again, the beard and the mustache isn't too bad, but the biggest culprit is that I feel like the dots are covering too much over to his face. He's a skinny looking figure. In fact, he's maybe about the same build roughly as Mike Mills here. He does have the removable mic, which we've already touched base on. Not much really in the way of his clothing. He's got the purple shirt, blue slacks or jeans, and then he's got blue shoes or like a dark blue purplish colored shoe. Articulation on Michael Stipe, again that same articulation, swivel in the neck and swiveled arms. Swiveled waist also wraps up the articulation for Michael Stipe. For me, like I love R.E.M. I grew up with R.E.M. when, I think when I was in high school, really, when R.E.M. was a big band. It was the band. If you weren't listening to R.E.M., there was something wrong with you. For me, I love the fact that I can add these to my Simpsons collection. I love especially that NECA took the time and produced these pieces. Would they necessarily be geared towards everybody? Unless you're collecting every single one of the Simpsons, I would say probably not. I'm still holding out hope that NECA is going to give us a U2. You know, if we get a Larry Mullen, Bono, Edge, that would be very, very cool. By the way, for Michael Stipe, I think I'm only going to give him a 6. For everybody, maybe no, but certainly NECA has delivered again with fantastic looking figures. Again, I hope that above and beyond the 25 of the greatest guest stars, NECA will continue to produce Simpsons figures. You know, there's just so many figures out there that I would love them to approach. You know, Sideshow Bob, another Apu. Figures that I feel just didn't get the right treatment the first time around when we were looking at the World of Springfield figures. I feel like figures since then, NECA could do so much better of a job on these pieces than what we got before. Question is whether they're going to do it. That is, again, the big question. Still, as R.E.M. fans go, I think this is a great set to pick up. Today's toy spot, we were looking at the Simpsons 25 of the Greatest Guest Stars Series 3 R.E.M. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.